Hey YouTube, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today's video we are going to have a discussion on showing interest to two chapters at the same time. I've had a couple people ask me this question, and for me, my personal opinion, I feel like it isn't an issue, but some people might think of it as an issue. Me personally, I don't think it's an issue because if you guys haven't watched any video that I've ever told you guys, I think that it is a good idea to express interest only when you're ready and once you've done your research on not only the organization that you want to join, but the chapter as well. So for people who are interested in joining a graduate chapter, if you're torn between two chapters in the same area, it is important to do your research on both to make sure that the one that you choose is exactly the one for you. So without further ado, let's get into this video. My advice on what to do when you're interested in joining one out of two chapters of the same organization that you want to join is to attend the events. One thing that I would not recommend doing is expressing interest right off the bat. Yes, you're interested in joining the organization in general, but I think you shouldn't say it, because if you're saying it to that chapter, then that chapter is going to expect you to commit to them. And you don't want to commit to anyone until you've done your research on both chapters that you're interested in. The reason why I think it's so important to do research on both chapters is you have to interact with people. You have to know if the people that you are looking to join, you want to make sure that there are no attitudes, that everyone's personalities don't clash, and that it's a good environment for you. And there's other things to consider too, like some chapters, for some people, one chapter might be closer to you than the other, but the closer chapter might not necessarily be a group of nice people involved, whereas the other chapter that is farther away, they're nicer people, so you're willing to go the distance to be with those people versus being with the people who have nasty attitudes. So for the people who are struggling with what to do about joining one of the two chapters, one, like I said, recommend that you interact with them, but two, make sure that you attend the events and that you know how they're running, like how do they interact when they're out in public with people, and then if they do like a social event and invite you out, how do they interact amongst each other? Because some people might be all smiles and good vibes when they're in public, but when they're associating with each other in private, like the chapter is in turmoil. So I highly recommend going to the events, interacting with them, having a conversation with both vice presidents of each chapter, just so you have a better idea of what to expect from each chapter, because timeline might be an issue, scheduling might be an issue. Chapter A might want you to be here, there, and this and there and this and that for like days or hours at a time, whereas the other chapter, they're more laid back. They're like, oh, we're gonna have intake on this day, and then 5 days from that we do this, that, and third. So it's important to make sure that you're figuring those things out while you're interacting with both chapters to know what would be the best move for you. Now, not every chapter is going to give you their schedule. Let's be honest. Some people are going to keep it to themselves until formal, but you can still ask them, what is their process like? What is their scheduling like? What's the time commitment required in order to join this particular chapter? And they might give you different answers. Like some chapters might be so small where they do need people to do more work, whereas another chapter might be big enough to where they don't need you as much. They have other people in place. Not saying that that gives you the right to not want to participate, because you should be participating as a new member, but you'll know where you'll stand in terms of how do you schedule your life, and how do you balance work or school, or how do you balance work, school, and children and family life. Like those are things to consider. Or if you're in the military, how do you schedule your weekends that you have to do things for the military, or your weekdays that you have to do things for the military versus the weekends where you have to do things for sorority life, or the evenings that you have a social that you have to attend. So I think that there are important things to evaluate and important things that you want to consider when you want to join grad chapter and you're stuck between two organizations. Don't ever let anybody tell you that it's not a good idea to do research on both chapters. Do your research on both chapters, because you need to know where you stand. With that being said, I don't recommend, like I said, I don't recommend verbally committing to either chapter, but attend both events. And if they find out, big deal. You want to weigh your options, and there's nothing wrong with telling people that. We're adults, we're grown people, so they should be able to understand that you want to go with the chapter that best fits your lifestyle and that best fits what you have going on for yourself. It's not like you're choosing another organization. It's still the same organization. You just want to choose a chapter that works better for your life. And there's nothing wrong with that. So don't ever let anyone tell you that it's a bad idea to look at 2 chapters or to attend events of other chapters. The one thing that I do not recommend doing, just like for organizations, do not attend one chapter is formal and then another chapter is formal, because you're setting yourself up for failure pretty much. There's nothing wrong with attending interest meetings. I feel like you weigh that for yourself, but for me, I don't think there's anything wrong with attending an interest meeting, because it's an interest meeting. It's informal. That's where you get some of the information that you need anyways if you didn't get it in the beginning when you were recording both chapters. There's nothing wrong with attending an interest meeting. Just make sure that you're not committing to it, that you're letting anyone know that you're openly committing to it until you're ready. And if you're not ready, don't attend any interest meetings. Continue courting them. You might miss an intake. So what? That gives you an opportunity to talk to a new member to see what their perspective is after they've crossed the organization. So there's nothing wrong with weighing your options. So that's my recommendation with that. I hope that you guys found this video helpful. Give me a thumbs up. I am still running my giveaway, so make sure that you're taking part in that. It is open to Greeks and non-Greeks. Go to my Instagram for instructions on how to participate. It will be on my KelsTells Vlogmas video. So make sure that you're on my Instagram, that you're following on my Instagram, so that you'll know what to do for the giveaway that I'm doing. But I hope that you guys give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.